Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and welcome to episode number 10 and the start of the second season in my Aston Villa career story. And it's going to be a big story from here. It's starting to build into the second season. I noticed at least one person said I'm very bad at the game, but there was limited things I could do with Aston Villa and the quality they had. And this year I really want to show my true quality so I can prove that and prove that I am good at the game, because I don't like it when people say that when I'm not good at Football Manager, when I've played it for like 6 or 7 years, pretty experienced. But yeah, obviously I have different ways of managing, but I won't get into that today. We've got most of our matches we won. We just lost 1-0 against FC Porto. I won't show you the results, like the players, because then we'll have some spoilers of my signings, which I'll show in a second. But there's one guy from FC Porto I wanted to sign, João Fernando Quintero. I really want to get him. He's a superstar. If you're a bigger team, obviously he's in European competition with FC Porto. So he wouldn't want to leave that, obviously, but he's a big player. He could do the job at a big team. If you see the coach report, he's definitely a big player there. And you see, he doesn't want to come, but really high potential, 4.5 star. He's one of those real players, even though now's like the time you would get regens. But yeah, he's definitely one if you want to look for him. But I'm going to go to my transfers. And in the transfer center, I'll show you the transfers the history. First off, I'll show you the players I got in, because you'll probably look at that first anyway. You're interested to see. First off, Jamal Bakar. You're probably a lot interested about him, because I showed you him previously, and he started to get some caps for this country, Comoros. I've never really heard that before, but obviously he probably wasn't good enough to play for France. I'm really happy with that decision. So he's at least playing some international games. So that will be good for us. But still, I don't think he's that high quality, but he can still improve a little bit, surprisingly. He's only 24, I don't imagine. But for me, he'll be a backup to some of the other signings I made, especially on the rights. Again, another player, Anawa Cully. He's a very good potential. He'll come in. We've got a lot of centre mids now, as I'm sure you notice, and I tried to get rid of like the really average centre mids that we had. But Konstantin Nika, again, a guy I talked about at right back. Right now, he's just a backup. And yeah, we still need amazing right back. I guess Matty Loden, but he's actually injured at the moment, so we need someone else to come in. Tassone, he was a big one on a free transfer from Mallorca. A very, very good player. At least in my opinion. He's very experienced, 27. We need one of those experienced guys to come in. And he had a very good season last season for them. He had a 7.19 rating, heaps of assists, and he can go forward and score some goals as well. So that's always good. He dictates the tempo. That's always very important. And also can play defensive mid or centre mid, but I really would prefer him to play centre mid because of his creative abilities. And next up, the guy who will be more defensive, Carlos Sanchez. I signed him on a free transfer from this French team. I'm not going to attempt to say their name, because it's too hard for me. I'm not good with French names. But anyway, Carlos Sanchez, I should say, a Colombian. Again, another experienced international player. 26 caps, not too bad. But he's a very good defensively. He's 182 centimeters. Very strong, as you can see, 17 strength. And he'll play that position perfectly. Can play centre mid, but honestly, I prefer him to play that defensive mid because tackling and marking his key attributes, and passing's only 12. It's not really, really high. So he's going to be really the player just to tackle. He sort of reminds me like of a Ramirez from Chelsea. Like he's not really, he's sort of a smaller player. I suppose 182, that's like medium size, I guess. But yeah, he just reminds me of him for whatever reason. A bit quick as well. Anyway, moving on to the next player. Again, I've already talked about these free transfers a bit in the previous episodes. But anyway, Marcelo Astagarabia, very experienced player. He's played for Juventus a couple seasons ago. And this season, or last season, I should say, Sampdoria in the Serie A. So he's a decent player, especially to get on for free for only 2.7 wages, because he was at this team, Deportivo Maldonado, and he was only on loan to them, so he wasn't on big wages already. He was on small wages at them in a second division. I'm not sure what league that is. In a Uruguayan league. So he was on really low wages, and he's a decent player. So I'm not sure in real life if he's moved to a bigger team, but he definitely deserves to not be in the second division of a Uruguayan league. And that's the reason we got him on cheap wages. So amazing deal there. Can play down the left, like in a winger or a left back. So that's good. But here probably our biggest signing, or I suppose you would argue the biggest, or at least second biggest the second biggest in terms of the fee. Tom Ince from Blackpool. He was transfer listed because he wanted to move to a bigger team. And yeah, I kind of had to sell some players to get him, which I did. You'll see that a bit later. But he's a classy player. I've always liked him in Football Manager, but I've never really signed him before. To me, he wasn't good enough for a top 4 team, like when I beat Arsenal or something, so he didn't really suit, and I had heaps of wingers anyway. So for Aston Villa, I think he will suit the team perfectly, and he's natural on both sides, I believe. Obviously, yep, natural on both sides, very good, and he's very strong on the left foot and fairly strong on the right foot, so doesn't really have a weak foot, cuts inside and runs with the ball. He could be a really amazing player. If you check his season last season in the Championship for Blackpool, he got 15 assists and 11 goals. No doubt he would want to play in the Premier League with those kind of stats. He's going to be a beast player for us. Still very young as well. And here, interesting one. Clint Dempsey from Tottenham on loan for 35k per month. We pay to them. I thought that was perfect. We needed another experienced Premier League player. And he's amazing. Like, that's his best position, like a box-to-box midfielder as a centre mid, because he gets into opposition area, gets forward whenever possible, and shoots from distance. He'll be amazing in that position. So I've got heaps of players to really make a move for a Europa League qualifying. And on that, I'll get into it. Oh, I might forget about it. I'll do it now. Benteke said he wanted to move to a bigger team because he said he achieved all he think he can achieve. And I promised him. That's what I really like. I've never had to do that before. It gave me opportunity to talk to him. Obviously, you can talk to players, but it didn't give me I've never had that chance before. You can say like what you wanna, what you tell him what you're gonna win. Like I had the chance to say I'm gonna win the league or qualify for Champions League, win the FA Cup or win the Capital One Cup. You can say that to him, and I said we can qualify for the Europa League, and then it comes with the option: do you think you can achieve it this season or by the end for next season? So you're in it next season or in 2 years. So that was a very good feature. I've never noticed that before. So I suppose not being a top 4 team, you wouldn't really. So that's something very good. So I have pressure on me now. If I don't qualify for the Europa League, Benteke will want to leave. So I've got to be careful of that. So that gives me another challenge, additionally to my normal challenge in my board confidence. If we go to overview, I just set, where are we? Confidence for competition. They said for me to achieve a respectable league position within the Premier Division this season. So I guess that's mid-table again. And by the media prediction is 13th. So one up from last season, but I believe we can come, for me, I want to come at least 8th. I believe we can do that now. We've got big players and still more to mention as well. Well, the last big player who'll make an impact this season, Ladislav Krejci, or Krejci. I'm not really sure if anyone from Czech Republic or knows how to say his name. I have no idea. But for now, I'm going to go Krejci. That's what I'll call him. But if anyone heard of him before, please tell me. So here, Ladislav Krejci. Amazing player. He's got some low attributes in some areas that might be, I'm not sure what the word is, but his downfall, like his jumping's only 4, natural fitness only 6, but stamina of 14 makes up for that. And he's got only 9 acceleration, but 16 agility and 16 pace. And I really noticed him because he was transfer listed, and he didn't feel comfortable at Southampton, who they signed from Sparta Prague. And he did very good for Sparta, and then he moved, but he didn't really fit in the team. He wasn't gelling with his teammates, so it ended for him to be transfer listed. And you see reports, very good potential to be a leading Premier Division left winger. And after selling Nzogbia, we just needed another left player to come in, left winger. And even though we got Esther Garabia, but I thought I wanted to get someone else apart from a free transfer. So that's on him. He's going to be starting straight away from me because I really think he has like really high potential, and I'll give him a chance. So those are the big players. But then I went to look for some regens. I've got some more as well to come. But for now, Dennis Merrington from Blackpool, or Blackburn, I should say, just under 700k we got him for. He's got a 5-star report. He can play down the spine, you can see there, like attacking mid or striker. Train him to play that centre mid. And look at these high attributes right here. 16 dribbling, 18 bravery, 16 heading, and 17 long shots. All of those yellow attributes, they're all going to be 20s. So that he's going to be a crazy good player. And yeah, he played 1 game for Blackburn last year, which is, he might have got a little bit of experience, but only 1 match. I wouldn't expect too much. And then this guy, a very similar player as well, Darius Piszczek from Legia. He's from Poland, obviously. He's already played 1 under-20 game for Poland. Imagine how much he's going to play, and he's only 17 already. And look at his attributes. Again, can play centre mid or striker. So leave in your comments, do you think he'll be a centre mid or a striker? To me, straight away with 17 finishing, he has to be a striker. But again, high attributes. 16 crossing, 17 finishing, 16 heading, determination 16, very important. Off the ball 14, that's an important attribute for a striker, so he could be very good. And 15 pace, so that makes him really pacey. And with that, I actually sent him out on loan to Charlton, so he might get some experience in the Championship. That would be fantastic if he can do well. So now moving on to the outs players. First player of note here, Darren Bent. I couldn't sell him, so I sent him out on loan to West Ham and hopefully can make a permanent move to them next season. Because, if he played 2 more games, we'll have to pay 1.5 million clause because of the deal with Sunderland, I believe it was. And got a couple guys here, Jordan Bowery on loan, Liam Bateman on loan, just really players that don't have any relevance. Ender Stevens, not good enough. I will look to sell him eventually when he reaches highest value point. I send a lot of players, just let him go for free. Joe Hurst-May, this is one of the guy I showed in the regen. He's going down right now, but yeah, he just moved to a different team on loan to Preston. And I think Tottenham made a move for him, like on the approach to sign, so I had to offer him a new contract. Because he would have left if they accepted, so I have to be careful of that. Anyone else of note? Now, Benjamin Sigrist, another goalkeeper, sending him out on loan. He's actually got decent attributes. I need another keeper after Brad Guzan, but Guzan was really fantastic last season. You may not have seen it, but when I watched him play, he made some very important saves, so that's very good on him. Because of all the centre mids coming in, I sold Fabian Delph to Hull City, or now known the Hull City Tigers, to the Championship. I don't think he was really Premier League level to me, even though he had some potential to grow. I need the players to do well right now, and if he stayed, there would be too much competition and other players would be unhappy. And you see, he played 1 game in the Championship for Hull, and it's a 6.40 rating. That's not something I'm expecting for my team. I'm expecting more. Gary Gardner sent out loan to Bournemouth for another year in the Empower League One. Previously had one at Sheffield United, had heaps of games there, 31, and scored 6 goals. He did very good last season. Hopefully can do a similar thing and maybe make a push for first team choice next season. Also, Chris Hurd, he's Australian like me, but I don't think technically he wasn't good enough. Mentally, he's fantastic mentally, and I'm excited to watch him in real life actually for Aston Villa, but he's a decent... he's just not that high Premier League level that I'm going for, so sold him to Bristol City. But I have just all the best to him, and hopefully he puts out a good career for Bristol City. And also, like I said, Charles Nzogbia, sold him to Swansea for 2.3 million, probably under his value, but I just really want to get rid of him. I'm not sure what it was, but like his work rate wasn't good for me, and teamwork only 8, decisions 8. Those are really attributes that I think should be important. Look, concentration to me, that needs to be important. Decisions as well, that needs to be important. And teamwork and work rate, they're still fairly low. I didn't really like that. And passing, only 11. So I need higher passing that for attacking players, pretty much. That was with him. And also Joe Bennett, I have high hopes for him as well on the left side because of his pace. Especially one game last year, he got a very good assist. I'm not sure, it must have been like a cup game or something in the previous season. Whoa, look how much teams he's gone out on loan to. See the assist there. So he's getting a lot of appearances in the Championship for different teams, so that's very good. So he's just below the quality for Premier League, and who knows, he might be good. He's got very good, like his sprints, or not, like his pace is only 14, but acceleration and agility, he's just immense in that. So I've hopes for him. We'll just see how it develops. Nathan D'Alfonso from us, obviously, on loan to Bournemouth as well. I tried to sell him actually, but nothing came of it. I don't think he's going to be good enough for us anyway. And Darius Piszczek, like I said. Anyone else of relevance that I sold late last season? No, I don't think so. There was just, Stephen Ireland. And anyone I bring in late? No, those are just last season's deals. So that was all the things that are happening. So I'm just going to move into the first match. I'll just show you the first match here against West Ham. Then we've got Chelsea, Watford in the Capital One Cup, then Man United. So it's a bit of a tough start. And also I'm bringing in Jack Collinson. Well, not yet. I'm not bringing him in. Obviously, he's for West Ham and he's sitting in the reserves who we're actually playing against. But he can play centre mid and right wing. So a couple positions, he could be a decent backup. So I'm getting him out on loan. I'm not going to buy him. I'm just going to get him on loan. Well, obviously, West Brom and QPR making some moves. Hopefully, can get him for another rotation player. As I said, can play 2 positions in our formation. And just to update on this guy, Alexander Shorokov. I signed him last season, but won't be coming until obviously he turns 18. So that will be the end of next season. Hopefully, Dynamo Kiev will give him some first-team games. Looking at those attributes, again, we'll have another good centre mid in our team. Tries first-time shots, and if he's good with shots, that will be pretty good to see. So, that's pretty much it on the transfers. I'm not sure if there's anything else. I'll just move into the match, and I'll show you how my starting 11 is looking right now. And hopefully we can start well, go team selection. And look who we have. Look at this starting 11. Benteke for the striker, or complete forward, but I'll just say the normal positions. I got Krejci out on the left wing, Tommy Ince on the right wing. I got Tassone and Dempsey as the box-to-box midfielders, and then Sanchez as the defensive mid. I think he can do that well. Then our back four, Luna on the left side, then Kyriakos and Okore as the centre-backs. Kyriakos he's really high experience, was fantastic last season, so he gets the gig above of Ron Vlaar for the experienced one, and obviously Okore, he's actually our best defender now. He's just developing well, and I'm playing Westwood at right back because he's really good, but he's actually had a lot of interest. Arsenal were interested in him, and yeah, teams have lost interest now because I just put his asking price at 20 million because I just wanted to keep him. His passing is fantastic, but yeah, we couldn't play him as centre mid because we've got these other good players to come in, but no doubt we'll rotate him in there when need be. But Lowton, when he's fit, he'll be coming in that right back. Because yeah, he's decent. He's like a good attacking right back or wing back because crossing and dribbling and all of that. I'll go into the match now. I talked about a lot of things, but I'm sure you wanted to know all that preseason stuff. But look at all these players that can't even fit into the first team. Hellenius, Albrighton, Bakar, Cully, he's injured, he might be in. Bannon, Baker, Bakuna, how much B's right there. Yakuba Silla as well, and Lowton, but he's injured. And yeah, we've got some players. We've got Agbonglahor. These are players on the bench, obviously. Agbonglahor, Alamadi, Kieran Clark, who's been actually improving very good. You can see mentally he's coming very good now. Centre-back or midfield. Last year he was amazing when played in defensive mid. Andy Vyman off the bench. I think he can do well. He's like a natural striker in both wings, so he'll be an important player. Nika talked about him, and Asta Garabia. He can play on the left side, on all down there, so that's very good. He'll be a good rotation. But obviously I want to start Luna and Krejci because I think they can be a better quality. So I'll be going to the match like that. And yeah, I just want to show Okore. He's a fantastic defender, only 21. I offered him a big contract. Yeah, he really deserved that. He almost left because of that to be transfer listed, but I just needed the time to get the wage budget up. And then yeah, I signed him. I gave him more wages, which he did deserve. And see Guzan, he's still improving in his attributes, which is really good. And it looks decent. I don't think I need to spend heaps of money on a goalkeeper when we have him right now, who's decent. Like, he's doing a decent job in my opinion. And then we have, given I'm trying to sell him, but never seems to happen, Benjamin Sygris. I'm not sure if he has that potential to be Premier League level, but leave your comments. But then we have Jed Steer, who I'm trying to send out on loan, but doesn't seem to be working. For me, he could be a player for the future in Premier League. See, he's got potential to be a good Premier Division goalkeeper in the future, so hopefully he can reach that. And yeah, he can overtake Guzan when he gets too old. But I've noticed old goalkeepers are actually really good because they've got experience. And yeah, Guzan, I expect him to really pick up where he left off last season. And I know he conceded a lot, but he made some good save. Basically, because my team was shot, like the confidence at times. So hopefully he can move in. And I'll love to pick up a win in this first match right here. And yeah, I think I really like my team. We've got some really good players. Benteke, obviously. You've got Tommy Ince, Krejci as well. Tassone, Dempsey as the centre mids, box-to-box midfielders. Yeah, my team is actually good now. So there's no excuses for me not to come in the top half of the table like last season. I'm really happy with my team, if you ask me. So yeah, leave your comments on my team, how I did to get these players in. A lot of them on free transfers as well. So I'm happy. I was happy with that. So who's this guy, Raphael Spiegel? We have a chance to score some goals. He's not really a first teamer. We could score quite a few goals if we go out on the attack right now. But then Kevin Nolan, he's getting a bit old. I'll just tight mark him and show him onto the weaker foot. Same with Joe Cole. I wouldn't expect him. They've got a couple old players in there that shouldn't really make an impact. Mikael Antonio, no idea who he is, but yeah, I'll just do that to him. And Andy Carroll, I'm not sure how good he is. Haven't really... Well, remember last game against West Ham we played with, on that big video I did with the new signings the last season. We won 3-1, so that was very good. I'll just tell them to enjoy the match. Every player is relaxed, so we can hopefully go out there. I just want to have another look at Tommy Ince. Look at that, only 21, 17 dribbling, got some pace about him as well. Heaps of room to grow. Right now, he's only a 2.5-star report and has potential to be a 4.5-star report, so has heaps of room to grow. And yeah, he can cut in with his left foot there, maybe take some shots on. I'm really excited about. He's one of the players I really like in Football Manager, but I was never in the situation to sign him. But I'm really happy I'm able to bring him to Villa Park. And hopefully we can move on, score some goals, and have a good start to the season like last season. But hopefully this season we can push on to it and not get those the run of losses. And I think we have a different squad now. Our squad is really settled. We've got heaps of rotation options, so I'm really happy. Yeah, Krejci early. Ooh, he put a ball in. Nothing was really going to happen from that. A Carroll on the rebound. And yeah, I'm not scared of West Ham because they've got a lot of slow players. Like they got Joe Cole, Nolan, and Carroll. No one really that's a pace threat. So another good reason to start Kyriakos. He's losing some pace, but it shouldn't matter. But Carroll, like I said there, Guzan, that's really a good explanation of his ability. He's made some really good save despite how much we conceded last season. No matter how good keeper I had, we were always going to concede heaps last season. The team just wasn't how I wanted it, and now it is. So no more excuses now. I can't use excuses of the team. I've built a good team, and this team we have, like the players we have, it's to me, it's good enough to come at least top 8, so that's the high expectations of top 8, but really I want to come top 6 to be fair. 5th or 6th is the position I want to come, but here, Krejci, he nearly made a good early impact there with hitting the crossbar. So yeah, this is not a really good start. I'm just happy with how my team is playing, apart from that nearly conceded a goal, but I'm happy. Look, the possession difference, that was the difference. We didn't have the required midfielders last season. We didn't have players that can dominate in midfield, and now we do. So I'm really happy with that. Look at that, dominating 58% possession, but it really didn't eventuate to anything. I'll just have a more assertive team talk here. Say I'm not happy. And again, I couldn't do so better from the team talks. Every player has got the perfect reaction for both my team talks so far. So at least in that facet, I've done well. You just got to look to push on, especially I'm really happy with the experience I was able to sign. Like compared to last season, we have a really experienced squad, especially within midfield, and especially like Tassone, Clint Dempsey, Sanchez. Save again. Look at that save by Guzan. That's why some people say, I don't know, people might say I should get someone else, but Guzan, he's been really good for me. It's just really like showcased it right there. Okay, hopefully they don't score from a set piece. It's going to be penalty. If I'm going to concede, of course, it'll be from a penalty. I guess I have to look to make subs. I'll just get ready to pause after they score. But who? Collins? Isn't he? He's a centre-back, I'm not sure. Nah. Yeah, obviously, you want your goalkeeper to save, but sometimes West Ham have kind of been a bogey team for me, especially for Arsenal. Tommy Ince isn't playing well. He's got Paul Morel. I'm not sure why. But I guess he has to go off, and we'll bring on Vyman and Krejci again. Making some players on their debut isn't doing what I like. But don't forget, we're playing heaps of new players. If I just take a look at it for a second, who do we have here? That's okay. Our defense is settled from last season, but all the attacking players, apart from Benteke, are new players to our team, so they're going to take time to gel. So I think I'll move Sanchez into... I'll take Krejci off, and I'll put on Estegarabia or Agbonlahor. I'll bring Agbonlahor on the right, or on the left, I should say. I like Agbonlahor on the right, can use his pace. And now, who should be our last? Who isn't like playing good? Westwood, he's not natural in that position. But I'm not sure if I should bring someone... I need someone to help us make an impact, that's the thing. But is there anyone? There isn't really anyone to do that. So I think I'll just bring on Kieran Clark. Was I going to bring on him? No, I was going to bring on Konstantin Nika. He's the only one. And Westwood isn't really... he isn't really performing it at that level. So I'll just take him out. And I'll try and do some good team talks here. Let's just do this. Put no pressure on Gabby. He relaxed. And Nika as well, as he's a young player. And he gets relaxed as well. Expect Vyman to do something. And yeah, that's really disappointing that we concede by a penalty. But honestly, I'm not surprised. But as I said... especially in the attacking half, we have heaps of new players, so they're going to take time to gel. And obviously, conceding a penalty, like penalties, I don't know, it's a bit of luck. It doesn't really have anything to do with your tactics. It's just I guess the players, and yeah, you can't really control penalties like when you concede them. So this is all in all a pretty disappointing match because it looks like we're not going to score a goal. Again, just giving it away there. But yeah, at the start of the season, I suppose you can say last season I started well, but it was a bit of luck kind of, I guess. But West Ham, they played well, they deserved their result. But all in all, I'm really disappointed to not start off with a win. And yeah, it was really disappointing, but again, a good team talk. So I've got to be happy with that still, I suppose. But it's really disappointing because I had high hopes to start off, get a good start, get in top 4 again, or at least around there with a win. But yeah, you can't be too disappointed because it's just the start of the season. I made a lot of signings. I more so expect to dominate in the second half of the season. Like, not dominate, at least have my players that are playing I want to. because with the amount of players I sign and the amount of them that I'm going to be putting into the first team, it's going to take a while for them to gel. So maybe a month or so before I start dominating. So again, I'll play into, I'm not sure how long I'll play to. I'll just see what will be best, what comes up. But anyway, yeah, all in all, that was disappointing. But we have heaps of time to turn it around. Heaps of players playing or making their debut. So we got to give it time. You can't expect them to play fantastic straight away. And yeah, it was really, but that's the difference. We should have scored some goals, you could say, but as I said, we need time to gel. And the tactic, obviously, when you start a new season, the tactic goes back not being fluid apart from the mentality. And people say I should not play on overload, but I couldn't even score not playing on overload. So yeah, but it's not as attacking as it would suggest. It will waste too much time going into, and this video has been long already because I gave an intro to my signings, all of that. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and leave a realistic prediction. Obviously, the first match of the season, the first match never really decides where you finish. Like I had a good start to the season and I finished 14th. So yeah, the start of the season, like the first month, it doesn't decide the title or anything like that, and it doesn't decide where you'll finish later in the season. So leave realistic comments where you think like this team where I could finish. Ideally, as I said, I want to finish at least 8th or higher. So yeah, leave your comments, leave your thoughts on the signings I've made, and I'll see you guys next time for an update later in the season.